Hey, I wanted to do an owner review of the Klim Aspect 26. It's got the avalanche airbag. I tested it, validated it, the airbag part, last Saturday on the way back, almost to the truck, just to test it. And I also wanted to show this chest bag. I run one of these on my dirt bike, and I also run one on the snow bike. So I've got my pistol in here, which is pretty handy, and then I've got some snacks. It's kind of hard to do one-handed here. I keep snacks in here, a lighter, and my beacon here. Chapstick, earplugs, just, mostly snacks. And so I've got my inReach SOS satellite messenger, and then I've got my radio right here, and this seems to block the snow pretty good from my radio. So let me take this off. We'll go through the bag a little bit. So the bag is kind of big because I've got my snowshoes on there, and it's the Verts snowshoes that have the little cupping shape. So let's just kind of go through the bag real quick. So I've got my first aid kit here, which is basically an Israeli battle dressing for, maybe I should get somebody to video this. So these are handy if you're working on your bike or something in the cold, not getting your normal gloves wet. So the Israeli battle dressing is just a pressure bandage. So this pack weighs 21.2 pounds. Currently configured. I keep most of the water, hydration stuff on the bike. I've got a little toolbox where I keep the tools for the bike and also my drone. And then on this side, I love these big pouches. I've got kind of these Moscow Moto or Giant Loop straps and some more snacks. I used to run the hydration tube in the pack, but for the snow bike it gets cold even though it's insulated, and it doesn't perform well. So I keep my radio in here, and it's just a Bovang UV5R. It's a ham radio, but you can use FRS or GMS. And then this really cool antenna. It's a signal stick, and they're pretty unbreakable. And so I have a few extra of these radios and antennas and shoulder mics and shoulder speaker, and I lend those out to my buddies. And the comms, it's nice to have, but if something goes sideways, it's pretty critical piece of gear, in my opinion. I've had a lot of close calls. We use the PackTalks Bluetooth intercom, which is nice for about 100 yards, but they don't go that far. I also put in, this is kind of cool, a little sheath knife in here. It's pretty thick and strong and sharp, high carbon, be a pry bar or self-defense tool or just general use. When I tested the pole last Saturday, it was up a couple notches, and it was a little hard to get with my support hand, my non-throttle hand. let me show you this speaker mic. So it's a B-Tech. They're like 25 bucks on Amazon, and you can just feed it through the pack. So let's just kind of go through the outside. I take this little saw on all my rides for dirt biking or adventure biking. We've had a lot of get-offs into the bushes, and then your bike is tangled up in little branches and trees and stuff. And it's nice to be able to cut those out. Plus, sometimes stuff gets in the way, logs or whatever that you can't get over. I've got one of those pole chainsaws in here somewhere. And then I've got my poles, my probe poles, which is handy. And then I'm using these. I just kind of stick them in here. I wish there was a better way. I tried putting these on the bike. They don't fit that great. I think the bag is well thought out. The goggle thing, I've got the transition lens, so I don't carry extra goggles. So I've got a headlamp in here, and I use this dual lock tape in here to protect the on-off switch, which is kind of cool. So I'm not going to accidentally hit it. And then I've got some blue tape over it to protect the lens. And you can set this one up for motion. I got it off of Amazon. They come in a 2-pack. And I've got a tiny little bib sack in here. So I hope I never have to spend the night. But if somebody gets hurt and they're going to shock or something, you can get them in there and get them warmed up. That's about it in that pocket. Okay. So I've got these little ski binding things in here. So all the tools, right? The big feature is the red pole strap. So I got my shovel, first aid kit, and I've actually gone through this and upgraded it. If you check out my blog, Foxy MC Rider, you can see I've labeled little dime Ziploc bags with lots of different meds, and this is in my motorcycle kit. And instead of duct tape, I really like the gaffer tape, but I won't get into that this time. Oh yeah, and last season my snow bike blew a fuse because I crashed in the snow too many times. We had this tiny little toe strap, so this is a nice long one from Green Chili. So that's what's in there, and you've got, you know, your shovel handle here, your probe there, but I got the probe on the outside. So. And then main pocket, I run the big muffs on my bike, so I like the small gloves. What are they called? I think they're the Klim inversion. And they're just the perfect thickness for being on the bike. I think, you know, I can feel and control the bike easily, but if it gets really cold, or, you know, these other gloves get wet or lost, or I gotta spend the night, I want the thick gloves. Garbage bag has a gazillion uses. And then I've got this is a Moscow Moto heated puff jacket, down jacket. I converted it to use SAE so I can plug it into my bike. And when I'm working hard on the snow bike, I never need this. But if we're gonna pound the pack trail for miles and go fast, then I do. And then this is my hydration. It's just a body armor. And then the cool little mega super capacitor that pumps the airbag, and it's got a little zipper. Let's see, that's all I got in here. That's not very much stuff for 21 pounds. And folding this up is pretty easy. There's a PDF on Klim's website that you can read, or Klim's got a good video on how to do it. I'm not going to cover that. But $1,200, save your life. Good, lots of good peace of mind. So since we got this all out, let's look at these. So one of my buddies recommended these, and he says they've saved his bacon many times. So I'm 6'5", 210, 215 pounds, and supposedly, I haven't validated these yet, but they kind of crush down and cup the snow. A lot of extreme snowboarders or skiers use these, and they actually have these like little claws that you can climb up if it's really crusty snow. So I was going to test it last weekend, but the powder wasn't super deep. And yeah, I love the capacitor, AA. It keeps the charge topped off if it's longer than 6 hours. And I got a battery pack or jump in my chest rig, chest pouch. I would get the Hill People one, but this is a cheap Amazon one. My dirt bike chest protector's got the Hill People one. It's a little bit more discreet, but for snow biking, you're in the wilderness. You know, you can do the tactical stuff, and people don't really care, right? Like other snowmobilers, they're out in the woods. They know you got to have your personal protection tools. So yeah, this is the big one, but I don't know. It just, I guess my puff jacket takes up a lot of space, and the snowshoes also. So, okay, I'll splice in a video. Thanks for watching. I'll splice in a video of the airbag going off. Thanks for watching.